Hi, time now tonight for the Hannity hot seat, and tonight we're joined by a Republican who opposed Kevin McCarthy's bid for Speaker on every single ballot. That is Colorado Congresswoman Lauren Boebert, and she says negotiations with McCarthy have been ongoing since the summer, but that her demands are not being taken seriously. Now, meanwhile, Kevin McCarthy's camp is now reportedly trying to determine which of the 20 votes against him are because of a policy disagreement versus a personal vendetta. Here now with reaction is Congresswoman Boebert. Now, Congresswoman, you tweet, Town Hall quoted you today saying the president, you said complimentary things about President Trump, needs to tell Kevin McCarthy that, sir, you do not have the votes. It's time to withdraw. Let me turn the tables, Congresswoman. Kevin McCarthy has 203 votes. Your side has 20. So if I'm going to use your words and your methodology and your math, isn't it time for you to pack it in and your side to pack it in, considering he has over 200 and you have 20?
Sean, I understand the frustration. I promise you, but
I'm not frustrated.
He
You
does
didn't
not
answer
have the
my
votes,
question.
and we are hearing. I'm hearing from many people who are still voting with Kevin McCarthy, who are very supportive of what we're doing, and they're cheering us on. So there are more for us than are against us, and they are waiting for Kevin to cave.
Okay.
You know, the American people are certainly frustrated by.
I'm frustrated by you not answering a direct question. You said to President Trump, you said earlier today that President Trump needs to tell Kevin McCarthy, you don't have the votes.
We need to come up with a consensus candidate to elect a Speaker of the House.
You don't have the votes, and it's time to withdraw. He has 203. Your side has 20. Why is it time for him to withdraw and not you when he has so many more votes?
Well, Sean, he needs 218, and he does not have 218. We've been trying to work this out in private, as you said, for months. But Kevin McCarthy didn't even want to listen to us until his disappointing midterms. We all want a unified party, but this isn't chaos. It's a functioning constitutional republic. When everything is said and done,
I like the cliche.
House Republicans will be stronger and better prepared to lead than we ever have before. I believe that this is what our founding fathers intended, and this is showing that our votes are working. Our votes aren't just a cast.
Congresswoman, I'd ask you not to filibuster. Yesterday you voted, and Jim Jordan was your choice. Today it was Byron Donalds who was your choice. Tomorrow, I don't know who you're going to vote for. But the bottom line is you still only have 20 votes. Let me ask you this. Kevin McCarthy...
I think we're proving that we're open to a menu of options. Many different people.
You're proving that 20 people don't want Kevin McCarthy at this time. But my question to you is this.
We are proving that there are many options.
My question to you is, did you support Kevin McCarthy's commitments to America? And do you not believe that he's going to follow through on his written promises?
His commitment to America is not as strong as I would like it to be. And we have been working on the rules to change the structure of how Washington, D.C. is run and operated. Sean, you know more than anybody how broken this town is. This is something that we have an opportunity to rebuild, to restructure. And it takes the right tools and the right leadership to do that.
Border security, energy independence, debt reduction,
and when we asked him to put forward the Texas-built border plan, he refused.
And then, well, he's willing to bring back the exact plan that worked under Donald Trump. And then he also has pledged investigations into the FBI and DOJ, the influence peddling of the Biden family, the origins of COVID and Anthony Fauci, the withdrawal from Afghanistan.
My question is, right speaker.
Do you support...
And it's not going to be Kevin McCarthy.
Do you support all of those agenda items he promised?
Of course I do, but I do not trust Kevin McCarthy at this point to deliver on those promises, especially when I go into good faith negotiations with him, and then he comes out and lies about what those conversations were, saying that members demanded
that's your characterization. He's not here to answer.
We want...
So let me ask you this.
He's already apologized to one member in private because he won't apologize to him in public for spreading lies about that meeting.
Here's my question. So you and others fought hard for a motion to vacate, with only 5 Republicans able to trigger that motion. Kevin McCarthy didn't want to give it to you, but he did give it to you in the end. To me, that's kind of an insurance policy. Can I finish?
But he didn't all the way. He did not.
Wait a minute.
Sure.
He gave you what you asked for, And one of the things that I've been asking people, I'm asking you tonight, who is your final choice for Speaker? And if you can't get more than, let's say, 30 votes, will you follow your own advice that you were asking Donald Trump and withdraw?
There are certainly names that are being floated around. And, hey, maybe I should nominate President Donald J. Trump tomorrow. But, Sean, I did watch your show last night. And I want to set the record straight on this motion.
We're going to pick Jim Jordan one day, Donald's the other day, Trump the next day?
This motion to vacate, because he did not give us this motion to vacate. I'm showing there's a whole consensus of other candidates that could be nominated.
I'm trying to understand how you're thinking here.
This motion to vacate, Sean, you need to understand that Kevin McCarthy did not give us my hard red line.
He fought for it.
And this is a century-old, no, he did not.
No, I know that he made the promise.
That was written by Thomas Jefferson.
I know he made the promise
since
because
1837 with 5 members, Sean, with 5 members, not one member to offer the motion to vacate.
So my question is this:
Nancy Pelosi's
you haven't answered my question. So if you have.
You cannot demand more responsibility.
Yesterday you supported
and then
Jordan.
Want less
Today you're supporting
Sean.
Donald.
That's not the way this works. We need a check and a balance on the third in line to the presidency.
Who is your fight? Let's have a final answer. Who do you want to be Speaker of the House?
Maybe that's for the conference to decide. We need to come together.
Who do you want? I'm asking who you want.
What does it look like, life after Kevin? We need to find somebody who can actually unify the Republican Party. I have offered plenty of names.
I would like to know.
Let some other folks start offering
there
other
are 203 people, and you have 20. I respect the 20 of you. I respect all of you. But I'm asking you, based on your own words,
you as well.
Who is your final? Let's have a final answer. Who do you want? Who will you only support to be Speaker? It's not that hard.
I am willing to have conversations with the Republican conference to come up with a consensus candidate. We are offering people right now. It doesn't have to be a member of the Freedom Caucus. It doesn't even have to be a solid conservative.
By the way,
but we have
more than half
those
the Freedom
tools
Caucus supports McCarthy. So you don't even have a name.
Because
and we're now going into day 3.
Are afraid when you are threatened by committee chairmen to not be placed by steering mitter.
Let me ask a final question. If your final candidate
placed on a committee, and then Kevin McCarthy affirms that, that's a scary place to be. We are here to legislate. We are here to get the country back on track. And when you have people making threats like that, it's difficult to make that decision. But we are going to get there. I am fine doing this. We're in day 2. It's okay. The government isn't spending money, sending it to Ukraine, so the American taxpayers are certainly winning.
Politically, Congresswoman, you and I agree on most things. We don't disagree on many things.
Yes, we do, Sean.
And I do have respect for you.
And I believe that history will show that I'm on the right side of this, Sean.
Well, you can believe in your position, but I'm using your words. You said to President Trump, you said, we're very clear. He doesn't have 218, so you need to ask him to withdraw. If by Friday you and your group of 20 don't have a name with 30 votes, is it time for you to withdraw? And if not, why do you support a double standard? Last question.
Kevin McCarthy does not have 218 votes. Kevin McCarthy will not be Speaker.
And you have 20. I asked you a very specific question. If by Friday you don't have 30,
I will not, Sean. I will not withdraw. Our asks were not petty of Kevin McCarthy. They were not self-serving. We simply were asking for commitments on what the American people want to see. They want to see a vote on term limits, a vote on the Texas border plan to secure the southern border. And for crying out loud, Sean, we asked for a vote on a budget that actually balances. Imagine a Congress that stops spending money that we don't have. We are going to get this right, and we are going to get the right Speaker, Sean.
If you only have 30, to be clear, you will not withdraw. 30 is going to be
a beautiful number to reach.
But you're telling Kevin McCarthy and the 203 people that support him to withdraw because they don't have 218. That's what you're saying.
Look, it's obvious by tonight's motion to adjourn that Kevin McCarthy and his supporters are already getting voter fatigue. And
I asked you a simple question, Congresswoman. I feel like I'm getting a liberal
I'm not going
an
to
answer
support
from a
Kevin
liberal.
McCarthy, Sean.
Okay, so even if you only have 30 votes,
Kevin McCarthy,
you will not abide by what you told President Trump to abide by.
Which I don't believe I will be.
I feel like we've made progress.
Look, I love President Trump. You're not going to turn me on him. You're not going to pit him against me.
Not trying to pit him against you. That's what you said to him.
And I am standing. I have
You're the
seen
one
the
that said
broken
it to him.
trust. I have seen the lack of accountability. Well, we are getting phone calls saying that we need to stop this. Kevin does not have the votes for
I got
Speaker.
it.
Period.
Thank
we need
you.
to find a consensus candidate, get this right, and get our country back on track. Thanks so much, Sean.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.